Brandon Miller, the most intriguing basketball player in all of college basketball right now, who has the potential to be a top 5 pick in next year's 2023 NBA draft. How did Brandon become one of the best young players outside the NBA? Today, I will answer this question. Brandon Jordan Miller was born on November 22, 2002 in Antioch, Tennessee to parents Daryl Miller and Yolanda Miller. And by the way, Brandon also has an older brother named Daryl Jr. and a younger sister named Brittany. And also, Brandon's dad Daryl played American college football for Alabama, and his mom Yolanda was a track star in Alabama, the University of Alabama. And that's why Brandon became a great athlete. Brandon would grow up playing baseball, basketball, and American football, but Brandon would actually choose to play basketball based off his own body since he was a tall and athletic kid. And Brandon would start his basketball career in Cane Ridge High School, but Brandon started to get noticed by Division I schools as only a sophomore in high school, while he was competing in the famous Nike EYBL tournament, where he started to get noticed in the high school basketball scene. And after quarantine had ended, Brandon would average 23.3 points, 8.4 rebounds, 4.3 assists, 2.3 steals, and 2.6 blocks per game in his high school junior season, on his way to earning 2020 Tennessee Boys Basketball Player of the Year by the Tennessean and was named the 2021 Tennessee GATORADE Player of the Year. Brandon would return to the Nike EYBL as a better player, as he would average 13 points and 9 rebounds per game for Team Bradley Beal Elite, while playing alongside many of the nation's other top high school basketball players, including Arkansas future superstar and fellow potential top 5 pick and Nick Smith Jr. And Brandon would lead his team to the Peach Jam Championship and stood as one of the best performers at the event, and earning second team All-Peach Jam honors. And this experience in the Nike EYBL would actually help Brandon garner more attention and offers from Division I college basketball programs. And in Brandon's second experience of playing the Nike EYBL, it would actually benefit him, because the experience would further improve his overall game after playing against the best high school basketball players in the nation. Coming into his senior season, Brandon was expected to have a huge year, and a huge year indeed it was for Brandon, because Brandon averaged 26.3 points, 8 rebounds, and 2.4 assists, along with 2.1 steals per game for Cane Ridge, leading the Ravens to a record of 15-1 in a Class 3A state championship game. And he was also named to the first team All-State by Tennessee Sports Writers Association. And Brandon was also named as the Tennessee GATORADE Player of the Year for the second straight year in a row, while also being selected to be a McDonald's All-American and participate in the Jordan Brand Classic. Brandon was considered as a pure 5-star recruit and one of the best players in the class of 2022, according to all recruiting sites like ESPN, 24/7 Sports, and Rivals.com, with offers coming from Alabama, Auburn, DePaul, Kentucky, Louisville, Ole Miss, Tennessee, the NBL Next Stars program in Australia, or the Australian NBL, and the NBA G League Ignite program. Literally everybody wanted Brandon Miller to play for them. But luckily, one of those programs actually had a trick up their sleeve in the form of Daryl Miller, Brandon's father, who played tight end for Alabama in the 90s. And Alabama would make their wish come true as Brandon decided to play college basketball for the University of Alabama and keep the Crimson tradition alive in his family. Brandon would have a massively successful season with Alabama with averages of 19.6 points, 2.1 assists, and 8.3 rebounds per game, while shooting an incredible 40% from downtown. Then, on December 17, 2022, just a couple days before Christmas, Brandon would score 36 points and 6 rebounds against Gonzaga. Then, he topped that performance with a Alabama freshman scoring record performance of 41 points on February 22, 2023, and an overtime win against South Carolina. Then, Brandon would be named as both the SEC Rookie of the Year and the SEC Player of the Year, becoming one of the few players to win both awards in basketball history. Recently, on March 13, which is technically last Monday, Alabama would win the SEC Conference title after blowing out Texas A&M by 19 points, as Mr. Brandon Miller would score an amazing 23 points, 4 assists, and 12 rebounds. On March 13, 2023, Brandon was named as one of the 5 players on the first team of the Associated Press All-Americans, and he is the only freshman on this year's first team, while also being named a consensus second-team All-American by the NCAA. Honestly, Brandon Miller is an amazing player because he fits perfectly in today's NBA with his two-way skills that are literally very beneficial towards any NBA team system, because this dude can truly do it all. Score, defend, rebound, and pass. And if I had an NBA comparison to Brandon Miller, it would be another Brandon and Brandon Ingram, because of their similarities in shot selection, height, and collegiate stats. And I get the Paul George comparison, but Paul George coming into the NBA was an explosive player that mainly depended on getting his buckets by using his athleticism, because he did not develop the ISO skills that he has today. And Brandon is athletic, no questions or debates about it. But the approach to the game that he shares with Brandon Ingram is so similar, because they take the necessary and efficient shots that the defense gives them, and not always depending on their athleticism and length in order to score. Any NBA team would be lucky to have Brandon on their roster because his potential is undeniable, and we will be seeing in this year's March Madness tournament if Brandon can handle and play through the intense pressure situations that the tournament will give him and his team, because Alabama is actually one of the favorites to win it all, but they must first defeat Texas A&M Corpus Christi tonight in order to advance, because you'll never know what happens in March Madness, because massive upsets do happen. And this tournament is a make or break moment for Brandon's draft stock, because if he's eliminated too early, his stock suffers. If he performs well and advances to at least the 3rd round, he might steal Scoot Henderson's spot for being a top 2 pick. But if he gets eliminated, he will fall out of being a top 4 to top 5 pick, because of the dudes like Nick Smith Jr., Jarris Walker, Keontae George, and Anthony Black. So Brandon, good luck in the tournament, bro. I hope you do well, and may God bless you, Alabama, and the rest of your family, and let the madness begin. I hope you ladies and gentlemen enjoyed today's video about Mr. Brandon Miller, and make sure to hit the like button and make it turn blue to show me that you actually enjoyed today's video, and hit that amazing red subscribe button to join this amazing, growing basketball family as I create and make the best new basketball videos for y'all every single Friday, and I do not want y'all to miss it, so click the bell icon. God bless, stay safe, and enjoy your weekend with your family and friends while watching and playing basketball wherever you are, and I shall see you all face to face next week. Goodbye.